welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm so glad you're here. I'm in the midst of trying to pick a encased beam. Obviously, we're going to have to speed that up. But I wonder if I rent Infinity Assembler encased beam. Can I fit 2 of these on here? Let's see if we can get 2 of them on here. That's the first step. Take the 5x5 blueprint. So that's pretty good. And then if we go down that way, right next to the refinery, down that way, we want to bring the encased beams back this way and then hook them straight into these towers. So that means that these guys merge. Oops. I probably have upgraded these incorrectly on my belts. So they're gonna go out that way. So they're gonna be facing this way. So they're gonna come back. They need to turn that way. That will send the product. Maybe if we put this little bit of belt on here, we can do the auto connect. Then we should probably fully upgrade these. Oh man, that protective area is so protective. That's back when I was making hard design choices. That small point, that small filler won't give it up. All right, we'll upgrade these just to make it so we're doing better on our resource allocation. We've got plenty of sheep. Not so much the other stuff. And I think I am going to go for half of these being steel and half of these being pipe. So that's 20 concrete per minute and 36. So that's 56 concrete per minute per click. On the worst case scenario here, and I did say 56, we're looking at 80 times 6 divided by 56. So we only need to click this in 9 times. We gotta have a splitter. This would be better if we had a little bit more height. So we know they both want concrete. So that's the easy one. And then we're probably going to need some labels on these, at least on the last one, which means we're going to get labels on all of them. So let's go ahead and put that in. A little organization. Just say, hey, this is supposed to be concrete. Uh-oh. I won't be able to auto-connect these because I can't get a... I might be able to do something. Depending on how far the auto-connect actually reaches. We'll go to the... Oh, we don't want to go to the absolute edge. That may be a little too far. We still want it to be a self-contained blueprint. If we're outside the blueprint square that we've set for ourselves, then it'll have weird notches and stuff, and we don't want that. Can I nudge this and lift it? Vertical nudge, page up and down. Ooh. We'll probably end up having to do a little bit of belt connection on that one, but that's all right. All right, and then on this, we'll just connect you like that. And then on this one, Did I put 2 in there? Nope. So the top one is steel. Pipe. They're both steel, technically. Oh, there's a lot of pipe options. And this one is beam. Right? Top one goes up. This recipe is calling for pipe. Bottom one goes up. This recipe is calling for beams. Perfect. I think I'm done with this. We'll leave it floating for now. Call this the dual input encased beam. Suddenly, we need a whole bunch of stuff. Luckily, most of the stuff is nearby. Yeah, the iron stuff is a little... Oh wait, surely we've got inventory lying around for that. Trying to get to the inventory here. Yeah, see, that's taking care of a chunk, not a huge chunk. Steel beams we have. I gotta think that one of our storage containers over here has steel beams in it, or iron rods. Steel beams and copper sheets. Steel beams we have, the reinforced plate is going to be a problem. We can get maybe half of these in. So we should start there. Okay. We're gonna need a wall to... snap this to. Give me a big old foundation with the vertical. That should be enough. Now, if I'm going to tell you to auto-connect, I would also expect that you would blueprint connect. Like, really, come on. Right? That mode is snapping, like, perfectly. Guess I'm going to have to use both modes to get this done. Oh, now it figured it out. I think I saw what it was trying to do, and I don't think I wanted it to do that. Let's see what... Oh no. I was just seeing the horizontal connector, and I was right. This is not going to reach. The belt auto connect distance is ridiculously short. We need 42 reinforced plate. I guess I'll build a couple more of these and then we'll, well, let's see. Copper sheets. How close are we on that? Yeah, we'll load this as well. I think we'll just go for like an edge here. That looks about right. Of course, it's off by 1. looks like I have a slightly different, there's a half foundation difference in the grid orientation here. We need 3 inputs. Classic would work. Uh-oh, the height's off. Ugh. Did I not put any storage? What's all the... Why do I have all these other storage containers? I guess I was going to use them and then decided not to. So this will give us our steel beam input. And I know I'm stealing from just this tower to make this happen. Which isn't ideal, but I think it's okay. That'll be our steel pipe supply. I kind of want to get this first one full. At least fuller. You know, it's probably going to be a pain to try to build this. Unless we've got this center one kind of pre-figured out. Uh-oh. What's the right line on this one, though? Because it's not necessarily what is normally the center. And I think we'll try to connect the encased beam. Uh-oh. This is the encased beam one. I know because it's the empty one. Okay, that should be the encased beams going back in. Once they have a supply. This isn't too bad. We're almost there. fully connected. Yay, love it when a machine starts to make stuff without even having to check it. We're still going to check it. There we go. Now all we need is some aluminum since we waited for the digital uploader to upload everything. And look at that. We got a couple beams already going back in. And since we're splitting both, we're not using a ton of beams or pipes, which doesn't put too much strain. It does put a strain though. Creature. Two more. All the way to the end where we run out of power. At some point, we'll come back and facade this, and we can decide if we want to put some lighting under here, or if we want to make it fully closed in, no glass. We'll just stuff some material in here just so all these at the end can get going. Plus, it's a nice way to lighten my load as far as my inventory goes. Every now and again, it does make sense to clean out the inventory and see what you actually are carrying around. Like, we really don't need leaves and animal parts and wood as our standard walking around inventory. Four per minute, so 10 per minute per click. That's about 90 per minute. It's probably closer to 85, 86 per minute, which is enough to fully supply one of these towers. And then you would think that the other place where we were getting encased beams would participate. It would be nice to see some encased beams get shipped in, but that's a whole different problem. Yeah, I'm very happy that we split this half beam, half pipe. Since both of those are part of this factory, you don't want to just use all of it, but and then this factory, it's a little mini factory, but it's working. Most of the output of that concrete factory should get consumed immediately. Two summer sloops to double up, huh? If I were going to do that, I'd have to also shard it. I feel obligated to shard anything that I use summer sloops on. This lighting's even better for the thumbnail. Let me just check to make sure that the machine at the end is emptying out. It's the quickest way you can check your work. All right. So if this one's dumping out, then they're all dumping out. They are in fact connected in series. This belt is super slow, but it's fast enough to handle 4 per minute. So it goes back into the factory, up and in, over, and then in the same industrial storage container. Wow, it's getting out so fast it's not even showing up. All right, that one is set to a single output manually split, so we're not subject to the unreliable splitter of the industrial storage container. I mean, these first 4 machines should be... Actually, the first 8 machines should be very happy with this addition. After that, we gotta get the shipping of our current encased beams done. That was only 40 minutes. Let's see if we can take a peek at what's going on with our original encased beam factory. What am I guessing? Not enough steel beams? Oh boy. All in all, though, not too bad. Yeah, not enough steel beams are going in that way. And half of them are being shared with the other part of the factory. Why is that? Oh, this is backed up because this is the tiny amount of steel beams we've got set up for our own use. Why is that going so slow? I mean, I'm not sure giving this system more inputs is the way to go. Though technically, it looks like some extra iron ore would go a long way. At least it would go away. Of course, when you look at the iron ore and it's stopped, backed up, it tells you that it's probably not the iron ore's fault, unless it's just too slow. Is it on a slow belt? No, I upgraded at least some of that. Oh, there we go. The very last belt. I missed a couple tiny spots. Like, why is, if this belt is basically full, why is this one so gapped? Mark 4. Now this is slowing down. So yeah, there's needed upgrades. Oh my god, a Mark 3. It's actually really not that tall of a structure either. Looks like we're gonna have to add some additional steel beam production around here. Well, you know what? A couple of shards would go a long way right here, I think. Right, because this is outputting... Oh wait, no wait. It's supplied from below. Oh yeah, I do this every time. I guess if I added another shard here, it would actually help a little bit. Or a loop, not a shard. Kind of tempted to one-off. It's 45 if we one-off it. And it's currently putting out 112. That'd be 157. I wonder if I'm splitting up the coal too much. Oh no, it's fine. Even if some of it above starts to slow down a little bit, it's better to have the summer sleep ones maxed out. Let me get a merger on here. I guess technically I should split this so each of these get connected. Now these two should be running at 100%. Fully sharded, fully looped. We might need to upgrade this output belt. It's looking a little slow. I'm sure the coal belt is running nonstop. Yep. And that's with a special delivery to... Oh. Yeah, these would not have taken off unless they could make it back. So this isn't a fuel problem. So I guess it is possible that it could be a fuel problem. It says it's en route. And this one says it's en route. Okay, so we're not worried about it. Well, it looks like they're circling, so maybe I am worried about it. Since we had that turbo fuel problem, all of the drone deliveries are suspect. Well, we're gonna have to run a little bit. Not bad though. 70 turbo fuel? Oof. Guys should definitely be fueling up. I mean, they're getting a direct line of turbo fuel. So when it's working, it should be working perfectly. Let's call it there. The point is we've got some more encased beams. We did get a few more steel beams in play for the encased beam factory to use. Which is obviously the problem, because if you saw the line, the concrete line was looking fine. The steel beam line was a bit of a mess. Uh-oh. We used both of our steel beam and steel pipe surplus. Oh wait, no, the surplus should still be... Uh-oh. Man, we need a massive steel situation, I think. Because now we're empty on both. All that just trying to make a few extra encased beams. Well, now at very least we've got more encased beams flowing in. We'll have to let that run for a bit. We did make a lot of changes upstream. I'm surprised though that the steel pipes are instantly running out. Steel beam delivery just arrived. Oh, and the steel pipe delivery just arrived. I guess it'll be fine. Oh no, wait, the steel pipes are coming in from way over there. Either way, we're going to do nuclear power tomorrow. Or nuclear pasta in the next video. Zero steel pipes? That's not good. We'll have to check in on that in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.